Well, good morning. Let's see what the markets have in store for us today. It is Wednesday, the 23rd of April. My name is Francois Duplessis, and this is Trade Talks. Let's get started. So let's kick things off with our economic calendar for today, just to see what exactly is happening within the markets today so that we can be prepared should we see any abnormal movements on our charts. Bear in mind that the G20 financial ministers and central bank governors meeting will be taking place all day today. This is obviously going to affect all US currency pairs, as well as most probably almost every other currency pair as well. If we scroll a little further down, in 5 minutes time, we are also going to see the Euro PMI data being released. This is everything from manufacturing to services to composite as well. And this will obviously create a lot of volatility within the Euro pairs for today. However, this will give us some clear direction on what the Euro is going to do for, like, say, the next week or so. You will also see a little bit later, we have PMI data coming out in the UK as well. This is obviously going to affect the pound. Then if you look later today, and this is more or less where I want to focus, because these are some of those fundamentals that I'm going to be looking at trading today, is the US PMI data, which is coming out at 3:45 this afternoon. There is also later tonight two speakers speaking. So we have the Bank of England's Governor Bailey, who is delivering his speech at 6:30 tonight. And then at 9:15, we have the ECB Chief Economist Lane, who will be speaking as well. In essence, not really events that we are going to look at trading. Just if you have any trades open, manage risk when we get to that part of the day. Now, that being said, let's get into our technicals for today. Now, please bear in mind everything that I will be sharing with you during this video, including what I just said about the economic calendar. Nothing is to be taken as financial advice. I'm just sharing trade setups that I'm going to be looking at today, trade setups that I'm going to be looking at taking, and what I look for when we approach the financial markets. So let's kick things off. Let's kick things off today with USD JPY. Now, this is actually a trade that I shared yesterday, and the reason why I'm kicking it off with this one is because I want to show you that not every trade always works out. So USD JPY is a trade setup that I shared yesterday. It gave a beautiful entry. It went into profit and then started retracing really fast yesterday afternoon, which then led to us hitting a stop loss, or me personally, let me put it that way, me personally. But on the other hand, my GBP JPY trade that I shared hit profit, which definitely covered most of my losses and put me back in the green for that. So let's now, seeing that we looked at the two trades that closed yesterday, let's look at what is still running, what is still going to happen. Yesterday, I did receive a comment asking if I would share my analysis on gold as well, which I am going to do during this video. So moving on to USD CAD. USD CAD never gave an entry yesterday, as my entry point for USD CAD was up here at 1.386. Now, we never actually closed at that level. Now today, I'm going to adjust my entry on this because I still believe the setup is valid. But I'm going to look at these previous high points around 1.385. So I am going to adjust my target zone for around there, and then monitor the markets to see if we do get a close above that line. I'm going to start looking for some entry points, and it does give me a little bit of a better entry than what we were looking at yesterday. Moving over to GBP CHF. So this is our Great British Pound Swiss franc. This one gave us a beautiful entry yesterday, currently running in profits. So all I'm going to share on this is basically now my trade management on this one. So yesterday I did share that my ultimate target would be quite high on this one, which is here around, let me just get that in line. So it's about 1.13637. Now, once we get to this level over here, which is just above that 1.1 mark, more towards the 1.101, I'm going to look at taking some partials at that specific point, as well as moving my remainder of my trade stop loss into break even, so that I have zero risk on this trade then going forward. GBP NZD also gave us a beautiful entry yesterday, currently running in profits as well. This one as well, just to line that out, once we break these low points over here, which is around that 2.218, I'm also going to be looking at taking some partials, locking profits, and then managing the trade from there onwards. Again, final target for me on this one is around that 2.188 level. NZD JPY gave us the entry, but is currently running in a drawdown. Now, obviously, stop loss is still in place. Everything is still set on this trade. So not all that worried. The risk that we entered is the risk that we accepted. Once we do go, should we go back into profits, I will be taking some partials around this 83.65 level, moving my stop loss to break even as well, and then looking to manage the trade further from there. NZD USD is a new setup for today. So here you can see that beautiful head and shoulders pattern currently forming right there. Currently just reached the top of that right shoulder. So we do need to come down and then break the neckline over here, which would give us an entry around that 0.5937 to 35 level. Your stop loss, if you're using the rules of chart patterns, will be just above the right shoulder. And then the take profit would be the same distance from the neckline to the top of the head, which then gives us around that 0.584 level on this one specifically. Moving over to Euro JPY. This one is just a trade that I'm currently monitoring. It hasn't given me a direct entry yet, as it is still trading within, let me just zoom out a little bit here for you, still trading within that range. So I'm still just waiting to see what the market is doing on this one. I wanted to just share it with you, just to share my analysis. But on this one, I'm not particularly looking for a specific trade entry at the moment. Just looking at how market structure is currently moving on this specific pair, and then we will react accordingly once there is a direct direction indicated by the markets. Moving over to our last Forex pair for today, which is Euro CAD. Now here you can see that double top formation that has formed on this one. Now all we are waiting for here is a break of the neckline, which would be a nice clean break below 1.567. Now, once we get to that, we can aim for a take profit just below these previous low points. If you want to go on the previous low point, which is around that 1.54, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to most probably, if we see some rejection there, I'll most probably close all my trades. But based on the rules of chart patterns, we could potentially push just a little bit lower, which pushes us down to that 1.538 level. Then, as promised, I said I will share my analysis with you as well on gold. So here we go. Here's my gold analysis for today. Now, yesterday, gold dropped quite significantly, as well as today, where we have seen quite a nice correction on gold. Now, that has created that falling wedge pattern that you are currently seeing on your screen right now. Now, obviously, a falling wedge pattern is a buying pattern. So that is currently the setup that I am looking for, primarily because I still believe that gold is very bullish. In my article that I shared a little bit earlier in the week, I did predict some high points, which we went and took out, and that was very, very nice to see as well. So very nice trade setups that played out in that regard. But looking at the trade setup at the moment, as I said, this is 1 hour time frame, so falling wedge pattern, and what I'm looking for is a break of the pattern, yes, but also a break of this previous high point over here, which is around that 3,355, 56 level. Now, if we can break that, my ideal entry is actually just a little bit higher, around that 3,360 level. If we get to there, I'll be very happy with a entry. Not gonna aim for any new all-time highs, just aiming for that previous high on gold, which is sitting around 3,490. So yes, it can push higher. Am I going to aim for it? Absolutely not. I'm just going to go for the previous high point, because what it can do at that point is maybe form a double top and then give us a different type of trade. But yes, and then obviously stop loss on this one. I'm going to put my stop loss just below these previous lows, which would be around the 3,285. So that's the setup on gold that I'm currently looking at. With the current movement that we have seen on gold, this can definitely be a trade that will be ready by the end of today. And especially because of US PMI data that will be released later today, that'll definitely create some big movements on gold as well. That being said, traders, that has brought us to the end of the video for today. As always, please do your own analysis as well. This is just me sharing some trades with you so that you can see how I look at the market. It's not financial advice. Now, when doing your own analysis, also plan your trades correctly, do proper risk management, and as always, trade safe. I'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers.